So let's dive into social media marketing. Now, one of the most powerful things about social media marketing is that you get to leverage the biggest search engines and social platforms out there rather than building up your own audience on your own website. So in other words, by using sites like YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, Google Plus, and Facebook, you're going to go where the traffic already is. Plus, you don't have to get involved with any of the technology behind creating your own website. Now, having your own website at the center of all of this social media marketing can be a very powerful strategy, but let's just focus on walking through how you might start to use sites like YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, Google+, Twitter, iTunes, and LinkedIn. And keep in mind that these are some of the larger platforms or a lot of other platforms out there that we're not going to have time to cover today. So to begin with, you probably want to focus your energy on Facebook, Google+, and in some cases LinkedIn. And I'll cover why I say in some cases LinkedIn. But these are large social networks. Of course, you've heard of Facebook, and I know you've heard of Google. Well, Google has their own community similar to Facebook. They were a little bit late to the game, but it's called Google+, and they're doing a lot of innovative stuff with it. So you definitely want to check on Facebook and Google+. You want to look and see if there's already an existing group or community. And then if there isn't one, or if you feel like starting your own, then create a group. But in either case, you want to start interacting with the community, and you want to do that by sharing valuable content. Now, a lot of times this will be content that you find because you're passionate about the topic and you're interested in sharing content that you find valuable, and so you share that on Facebook in the communities, and you share it through the Google Plus groups. Or if you're involved in LinkedIn, you can share valuable content there. Now, in addition, where things get really powerful is when you create your own valuable content and you share that. And the reason why that's powerful is because then you can have a lot more control over what is in that content, obviously, if you created it. And by doing that, you can direct people through your affiliate link. So you want to share lots of content, not just the stuff that you create, but then you also want to create your own valuable content and share that as well. And I'll go into a little bit of detail in just a bit. Now let's circle back really quickly to LinkedIn. The reason why I said in some cases LinkedIn is because unlike Facebook and Google+, LinkedIn is a lot more business to business rather than, say, Facebook, where Facebook could be groups of people who are interested in scrapbooking. You're typically not going to find a group that's interested in scrapbooking on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is more about business related topics. YouTube. I highly recommend that if you know how to create videos, or if you want to go to Fiverr or Elance or an outsourcing website and find someone who can create videos for you, using YouTube is very powerful because it's very common that YouTube results will show up in the Google search engine results. So in other words, it's another way to get into the top listings in Google for your ideal search term. So rather than trying to build up a website and getting it to rank on page one, it's a lot easier sometimes to create a video on YouTube, and depending on how many views it gets and some other factors, you can have that listing show up in the natural Google results. And it's a great way to showcase your expertise, and you can put a link directly to either your website or directly to your affiliate link right in the YouTube description. Twitter. You want to follow thought leaders in your niche. You want to ask good questions. Again, you want to find valuable content that other people have created, and you want to share it or tweet it out there. You want to retweet valuable tweets from others in the community. And of course, you want to create your own valuable content. Once you've built up your own followers, you want to create valuable content and tweet it. So for example, if you create a YouTube video, you would definitely want to go on a Twitter and send out a message about it. That's called a tweet. Pinterest. Pinterest is going to work for some markets, and in other markets it won't. It really just depends, but you should check it out because it's growing extremely fast. Now, it's best if the market and the product are visually oriented. So You just have to experiment around with it and see if Pinterest is going to work for you, but it's very image driven. You create a board or a pin board, and then you tag images, and that's how you get started with Pinterest. iTunes can be extremely powerful if you yourself have great information to share, or you have access to experts in your niche that you can interview. So let's talk about an example strategy. Now, Google Plus has something called a Hangout on Air. Think of this almost as a webinar that's done real time, and you're streaming your face. The video is the video camera is pointed at you, and you can have guests and people can attend this Hangout on Air. So think of it as a webinar where people can actually see you, rather than with a webinar you're typically looking at someone's presentation. So imagine that you did a 30-minute Google Hangout on Air, and maybe it's just you, or maybe it's you and a guest or several guests. After that Google Hangout on Air is over, Google will automatically convert that video and put that video onto YouTube. Automatically, it just happens right away. So when the video is put up on YouTube, let's say that you're participating in a community on Facebook that is specific to talking about the topic, where it would make sense to eventually send someone through your affiliate link. Well, you could share the YouTube video right in a Facebook post, and your video would be right there inside of Facebook. So you share that on Facebook, and then you hop over to Twitter and you tell your followers about it by sending out a tweet. Now, just doing this one time probably isn't going to generate a ton of revenue, but over time, doing this again and again and again can develop a really large footprint. Now, keep in mind that I've just shown you one strategy, so you don't necessarily have to start with Google+, go to YouTube, and then Facebook and Twitter, but I wanted to give you an example of how you could do one thing and then repurpose it in several different ways. There's a lot of different ways that you could do this. You could substitute LinkedIn for Facebook. You could just go straight to creating a YouTube video, or you could skip the YouTube video and post an article to your blog or to an article directory such as Easy Articles, post that to Facebook, and then also tell your followers on Twitter by tweeting it out. Lots of different combinations. You got to find out the right one that works best for you. But the powerful thing about this is that you're leveraging these massive search engines and social networks.